I have plenty of clients who basically say, hey, I don't have to check email before 10 a.m. in the morning anymore. And so think about that. That means from 7 to 10, they actually can do whatever they want to do, and then use the spaciousness that is give to either do some of the best thinking they've ever done, or, for example, do activities that help with reducing the mental stress that we're experiencing. And so those are some of the very, very basic things that I would say are coming along with it, because we came up with over 50 different playbooks of how you can work with an EM. I could probably dip into almost all of them and have a discussion around what positive impacts it actually can have on this notion of mental health. And I think, at least anybody listening to me right now here, nobody will argue with me at this point in time in the life we're living that actually paying attention to that is one of the most important things you can do to help yourself achieve the full potential you're going after. Frankly, I believe if you're not in a good mental health state, you can't get there. It's just one of those absolute red flag blockers that won't make you do this. But we invented this role of an EM also to basically change it away from the classic understanding most people have as an EA. EA, most people think administrative overhead. A lot would say luxury. Many would even say it's like somebody who just like helps you with travel and scheduling and so on and so forth. The way we see an EM, if you hire it really right and you work with this person, not only on the processes you need to basically develop to get this like close-knit, tied to this person, you actually develop a partnership. It's a partnership for usually a very, very long time. And with that, a certain amount of trust can be built up. And it's actually the only other person, maybe besides a coach or something, that is actually integrated into the office you're leading. Let's say you're a CEO and you're leading the organization. The office of the CEO includes not just the CEO, but actually this EM partner, if you will. And in that, I would argue that that you now have somebody on your side to basically somewhat share the burden of the things that you have to make. I have had several EMs with whom I could actually just vent. They knew what kind of pressures I, as a CEO, I exposed to. That's incredibly powerful because the role of the CEO can be an incredibly lonely one, and the role of an EM can make it quite a bit less lonely, and with that have a very powerful impact on how you feel. So that's one of the things. And then the other thing is that person most likely will become exceptionally in tune with your state of mind. You will notice when you feel a little bit more frazzled, a little bit more pulled into too many directions, stretched too thin, and all of those things, and can just call it out. And that sometimes is all that a leader needs, is to just be called out and say, hey, are you running too hot? Is this good for you and for anyone? And I have yet to come across a leader who believes that when you're running too hot, but too thin, that you're actually still doing really good for the company and aren't actually risking damaging quite a bit of the relationships that you actually worked so hard to basically bring on board to help you pursue your vision and convince them follow you through hell and back. This role to me is just an absolutely incredibly important one. If you look at it the way we look at it, it's almost like you should not operate as a CEO without this role. It is just too important to help you be the best person you can be, to basically help the vision that you're pursuing come to its fullest potential.